Okay, let's do it. Hey everybody, John Gale here, Japanese instructor. You can find me at my website, johnsensei.com, or I'm on Twitter and Facebook at Mr. John Sensei, and I'm here with
John West from Dark Matter Interactive. What's up, guys?
And John and I have been making a game in Unity called Hiragana Breaker that's meant to help people learn their basic Japanese characters, and we're going to do a little bit of work on it today and record it for you guys, let you see real indie devs dealing with real problems in games. So I'm going to get out of here. Okay, so now we're in Unity and we can see the game, and the issue is if we go to one of the levels, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the levels we're going to work on. So I want to go to level 11 actually, which is Sa. It's this letter Sa. So what you see here is this Japanese character in the background, and then what you do is we're going to hit play. It's going to take a second to load. You break the blocks and you hear it say the sound of that character. So that's the basic gist of the game. These backgrounds are over here in Unity. I've got a paper background right here. That's the general background, but that letter itself is right here is the game object, is a transparent PNG, which as a file size on my computer isn't so bad. It's just a matter of kilobytes. But when you put an image into Unity and make it a game object, it then can up the size. It determines the file size based on the height and width of the object, and also multiplied by the photo's compression, which I could find that later. I'll go ahead and do that.
Click on that, can't you?
Just click on right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
On this part.
On that part. So right here is the compression. So width times height times the compression ratio will determine the file size when it actually builds. The iOS version of this game, we're going to work on Android first. The Android version is about 80 megabytes, which isn't bad for a file size. iOS games, Apple always just adds a lot to it, probably about 30 megabytes more than what you'll find on the same game's Android version. So the iOS version of this game is about 140 megabytes right now, and that's dropped down from over 200 when I started working on it. So what we want to do today is replace this PNG file, which becomes a much larger sized game object. We want to replace the image just with text using a Unity plugin called TextMesh Pro, and that's what John's going to help me with. Now I do have a Unity 5.6.2 running, and there was talk that TextMesh Pro would be.
There's a version that works with the older ones. In fact, actually, if you had the newest version of Unity, you would have to go through their forum to download a special version that works better with the newest. So we should be set with this.
We should be?
Yeah,
we'll see.
You haven't installed it yet, have you?
I installed it back when I was on 5.5.
Okay. Yeah, we should be fine. It should work as long as you don't have 2017, the newest version.
Okay. So that's what we're going to try to do. In older versions of Unity, if you just had the text and tried to blow it up to the size of what we have in this character for the game's background, it would get extremely pixelated, and you needed that extra plugin called TextMesh Pro to handle the text.
It works sort of like vector graphics.
Yeah.
So it'll take these text files, these fonts, and it'll change the resolution dynamically based on how large they get and what your screen resolution is. So keeps a very crisp and clean looking font type, and it's a great asset that's become free for Unity. Definitely, if you're a game developer, you should look into it.
Yeah, it used to be like $90, $100 or something.
Yeah, very expensive, but worth it.
So here are my fonts, John, and this font right here is this right here, RIT F font. This sort of brush stroke font.
Those are for Japanese letters?
For Japanese letters, yeah. These are the TTF files.
Oh,
for the
if
fonts.
we have that, then we're already a step ahead, so that's really good. Because,
okay.
I mean, worst case, we have to make our own font file with all our characters and the different versions of that, so that's good.
Yeah.
think we should probably start by installing TextMesh Pro, right?
Okay.
Should go through the Asset Store.
Now I already installed it once, but you don't see it. I mean, how would you know if it's on here or not?
There would be go into plugins.
Plugins.
Okay, you're good. I think you're fine. There would probably be a folder there that says TextMesh Pro. You're not gonna find it on there. In fact, just
that's all the IAP.
Mm-hmm.
In-app purchase.
You can click your assets folder real quick. I just want to see
Assets.
all your things. Yeah, you would already have seen some kind of folder TextMesh Pro, so you're fine.
So do I need to download it?
Yes, because TextMesh Pro, although it's free with Unity 2017 and beyond, and like the older versions now, you still have to download it.
Right there it is.
Unlike Timeline, which comes built in with it, which is a really cool another feature in 2017. But
okay, so since I had already downloaded it before, I guess that's why it says update.
yeah, you need to update and then install.
Okay. I'll do that. All right, and it's downloaded and then import all this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had an issue downloading this on the new 2017 version. You have to download their specific one from their forum, but this works fine for this. So
okay.
For the older versions of Unity, it should anyway. So we'll find out. Yeah, this should work just fine. If you can remove all those PNGs or JPEGs, whatever you save them as,
yeah,
those video files, those should do a lot for the size. TextMesh Pro. All right. So we've got fonts that they come with by default. We've got our own we're going to use, and we can just swap those out.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to go ahead and try to replace this, the first thing I'm going to do is disable the background image so we don't have to look at it.
The paper?
Not the paper, but the just the X. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you trying to keep the paper background safe, right?
Paper background, yeah.
Okay. They've actually got a really cool, easy way to do this. In TextMesh Pro, you just go to create a new object, or you right-click in your scene, go to 3D Object, and create a new TextMesh Pro game object. And virtually everything you need is already taken care of. You can probably drag this right into the scene over here. And we can change the font really easily. Go over here. You had a fonts folder already, correct?
Yeah. F.
I just want to minimize some of those. All right, so we should be able to replace, well, before I do this, those letters do not exist in English, so we're going to do that first. So it didn't work. Hold on. We might have run into our first problem.
Because it doesn't TextMesh Pro.
We have to create a new type of font for it. You're right.
A font object or something.
Yeah.
I forget what it calls.
Font asset. Probably. They have atlases and materials, so we'll figure it out. Style sheets, TMP default, sprite assets, default sprites. That's just for emojis and stuff.
Okay.
Resources, fonts and materials. So we want to create a new.
Could we duplicate one and?
Yeah, we could probably duplicate it. Well, let's find out. Change that name. Change it. So the thing that we need to create isn't just this. We also have to create the atlas, the font atlas, and the material. These things right here, I think, are what actually define the characters. There's a tutorial that watches or steps you through all this, but to make your own font in TextMesh Pro, you go to Window, TextMesh Pro, and then Font Asset Creator. We get to select our font. We find our Hiragana font here. Auto sizing, it's fine. Font padding 5. Atlas resolution, probably don't need it much more than that, right?
I have no idea what that means. So
that's the texture atlas for all your characters. How big its total sprite sheet is going to be for everything.
Yeah, we're not using kanji or anything.
Let's find out what happens. Hopefully this turns out pretty decent. Oh wow, Is that your font? Is that what the font looks like?
That could be. Can we see the Japanese characters?
Those are all English characters. So, but that quality looks like duty. Missing characters. Let's try it.
You call that a brush font?
Hiragana brush font? Sure. Under fonts? Sure. Alright, let's see what happens. We've got our Hiragana brush font over here. Font asset, font material. Got a box here. Hold on 1 second. And, I don't know. Let's see what size we get. Yes, I didn't see anything. Huh?
SA, yeah.
Whoa, what is that? Huh. We got a row. Let's see, that definitely didn't work, did it? It almost worked though. Apparently everything is so maybe our font asset didn't quite work out. Let's see. Oh wow. So I don't think got everything that we needed. I don't know. Oh, that's why. I think that's why. So let's do it's not ASCII, it's custom characters, I guess. Custom characters. So we can actually type them in here. So
Sweet. Those are the 10.
Alright, let's see what happens. Font style, normal.
Yeah. Do we need to load it?
No, because it's either or. You either select a font asset and then imports them, or you write them out.
Okay.
I hope.
But then how does it know to use that brush font?
Well, it's using that font and
I see.
using these characters out of that font.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
To anyone who might want to become a game developer, this is only the slightest of headaches you'll run into. Every day it's a battle.
This is only the beginning.
Yeah. Hey, we got them in, but I feel like the resolution could be better.
Yeah.
Let's see. I wonder how much the size increases when you increase the resolution, if it does at all.
You mean like the file size?
Mm-hmm. 2048 for a size must be pretty big for you.
I mean, what we are doing is like a lot larger than you use any text normally.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I made the PNGs, depending on the level and the font, it's anywhere from 900 to 1200 point.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking, by the way? I wonder if making the atlas larger is actually decreasing the overall resolution of this. I know that doesn't make sense, but like, imagine if you took something small and blew it up to 2048.
Right.
It would look bad versus if you pushed it down, because then they're going to resize it dynamically. Does that make sense?
TextMesh Pro is going to
resize it dynamically later. So we'll see. If this looks better, then we'll keep going. If it looks worse, then we'll probably just make that smaller and see if it actually makes the resolution better. I don't know if it will or not. Which, I mean, it wouldn't be true if we had like all the characters and they were all bunched together. If we increased the atlas size, it would probably look better. But
it does look a lot better.
Does it look better?
Yeah.
I think it's still generating though.
Yeah.
And what do you want to call this here? Hiragana brush?
Yeah. You want to switch to English?
It's just memory folder, fonts folder, yeah. Replace. Hopefully that worked. Hey, we got it.
Hey.
Didn't take that long. We can change the color and stuff. Let's see. So we can change the color right here to black, and see what it looks like. Let's find out. So there's that. That's with the old one, the new one. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like. See if the quality's still good. Yeah, crisp, man.
And that's because we're recording.
Yeah, performance is going to be a little slow when we're recording.
Can't lose this game, I tell you. Too good at it. Okay.
I think it looks good.
Okay.
You don't want to delete all those images, and you could probably end up actually copying that for every map.
And then just swap out the font source, or
no, just for every map that has the same font.
Oh yeah, and then type.
And then we can just make the other font sources.
Okay.
Should probably go ahead and just change all the levels, right? Or
I mean, yeah, we're going to change all these 10 levels. So I want to delete this one right here.
Yeah.
Do you think I need to move this?
You could if you want.
That won't mess anything up. But that's
I don't think so.
Keep the hierarchy nice and organized.
Do you want to rename that?
Yeah.
Whoa. Getting old, man.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, you're probably healthier than me.
Okay.
Do you want to go to the other maps that have this font and change them, or do you want to just go ahead and make the next font? All right. Let's see. Go ahead and save the project. Always save. Always save. Let's see. What we're on level 11.
Yeah, so we want 12 next.
That's where it starts at. Okay.
She is 12.
Cool. So, let's see.
Under play space.
Right. If I the problem, I want to be lazy because I'm a programmer, and I want to do this in a way that'll be very easy.
I support that.
But if I make this a prefab, which I kind of want to do, to just make this quicker, I'm gonna have other problems. But really, all it is I just have 90 centered and then the right size, right? But
I think each letter we're going to have to
do individually.
Yeah, tweak and shift.
Okay.
Anyway,
let's just go ahead and get to it. All right. So then let's see. Create new text mesh pro. Text.
Could you paste that one though, like you were saying? Go back to saw, copy.
Possibly. I guess that's possible. I don't know. Between scenes, it may not work. There are definitely ways to do this.
Paste.
Aha!
Yeah.
Worked. All right.
Boom, man! Let's not even touch it.
Awesome.
Right up.
Awesome. And we go there, and we want to delete this because we don't want to keep that there. It's going to have a reference to an object we're about to delete anyway, so we do need to do some work on this one. Definitely. Oh, no we don't. We just need to change the character to the right thing. Suit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. I guess you'll be able to delete those characters then, huh? The actual PNGs?
Yeah. Unity does not import them if it doesn't use them into the build anyway.
Well, that's good.
Just to keep things clean and neat.
Did I? That was weird. Okay, so we're doing this for each level though, or just certain levels?
Well, this concludes the brush font, and
Another level has.
another zone
Yeah.
has a different font.
Which one is the next zone?
I'm going to do zone 4. And the font for this might be this one with the bold. So I can see the font.
I don't know. If you go into the folder, open it up, you can see, I guess.
Okay, definitely not that one. That's the reference stand.
It's pretty basic.
Oh no, it's the medium. TTs. No, not that. It's in Chinese.
Yeah, a section for your fonts too. Nice.
Style for Hey-T.
TC. Font asset window. Font asset creator. We're using Heidi. Is it not in here?
Can you drag it?
Possibly. Let's see. It was in your folder, right?
But look, it's yeah,
It's different. TC.
Because I think it was like an OTF instead of a TTF or something. You just do reveal and find her again. Right click. Get info. A TTC. What's that?
I don't know.
Think that'll work?
No idea. I can always change it back. It'll be functionally the same. Should be. Let's find out if it works.
Yeah.
If not, we can always go back and fix it. Let us select it now. We did 1024 right now, 2048. Or did we do 2048?
The other one's 2048, yeah.
And we wanted to do custom characters. This starts at sweet. Just click the magic button.
We got everything else? Normal?
Yeah, everything else was the same. I take a minute for that to load. That's the one thing I hate when I'm in my current game. I'm making like tons of animations for it, which may just turn out to be utter trash. I don't know. I won't know till I get it all in there. But if I just want to make one change to one animation in the inspector, it'll take like 10 minutes for it to process because it has to go through all of them. It's terrible. So I might as well just make all 100 changes that I want, then hit OK, and then see if it's the same because it's going to be the same amount of work.
Is 100 changes going to take it 100 times longer to process?
No, same amount of time each time. Because it goes through and recalculates for everything for some reason.
But then if you didn't like the change and wanted to change it back,
Another 10 minutes. Like 5 or 10 minutes, but it's a long time, and it's frustrating because I can't do anything on my computer when it's done. It's just like all the resources. Just got to get on my phone, I guess, and look up stuff. But I don't know how the new animations are really coming along though. It's getting pretty crazy. Hey, it's pretty good. What do you want to call this? Go to paste. Now we'll just change this to Hiragana 4. Yeah, because saw isn't one of the characters we have, is it? Hey, worked. Yeah. Yep. Maybe 70. Not too far off, right? Pretty close. I'm going to change the font color here. Right. Get rid of this one. Yeet. It's almost exactly the same. I'm going to get rid of this. Change this and copy it. Alright, into.
Cool. The paper background is zone 2. This is zone 4. Zones 1 and 3. They don't have a problem finding the TTF files. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I fought with it for an hour or more, and I cannot find this. Zone 3 is like the default Microsoft Japanese Hiragana font. Like, if you just open up Word, just win the Hiragana, that'll be the default font for it. And I can't figure out if it's buried, if the TTF or the font file or whatever is buried somewhere deep within the Microsoft Office folders, or whatever. It's not, even though you can pull it up in Microsoft Word again, whatever.
Right.
I just found out how to put it in Unity. And the Zone 1 fonts, just call it Sans. I can't find that font in the other program besides GIMP. It's like GIMP's default font for everything. So you look all through the GIMP font folders. I can't find that TTF file there.
It's kind of weird.
But I think just through doing this with these 2 zones, we should be able to get the final file size
Sweet.
down.
I'm going to do you a favor.
Me a favor?
I'm going to do me a favor. I'm going to change that from ya character to just character. So every time I paste it, I don't have to change that. And I won't ever have to change out of Japanese.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that almost every time it's like perfect. Watch.
Yeah.
It's almost perfect. Like very, very, very close to being perfect. That one was absolutely perfect. Didn't have to do anything.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Right? I love when things go well. So lately things have not been going well. Come on.
Day.
It's like perfect. It's like, no. It's crazy.
Yeah, look at the flawless victory. There is no game on the phone.
Wow. So Mario says, wow. So John Bon Jovi says, halfway there. Pretty close, right?
So, yeah. I just thought someone should check this thing all these times.
So
maybe we should have checked how it resizes on 1.
it should resize perfectly fine. The anchors, well, you know what? Here's how we can find out, right? Let me take this and just resize it.
Okay, and can we change that from a, I guess more what I'm thinking is this.
Okay. Sorry, I messed up your stuff.
It's okay. Okay, so that's what a galaxy.
You lost.
S6 looks like, but if we go to a Kindle Fire, which is a lot smaller, yeah, it resized. If we go to the 9x16, and then let's see, what the stupid 9x18, yeah, that looks stupid. I mean, I'm not going to spend any energy on that. What else do we have? I don't know what you are. It looks like things go a little blurry, but that might be the
That's the
crap
low resolution. Yeah, it's a very low resolution.
Whereas those Galaxy S6 or S7, that's really high resolution. Okay.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's back.
Oh, my head hurts so bad.
Let's got some of this. Okay.
I don't even know what you said.
You must be tired. Or thank you for your effort. So, looks like we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple little stumps here and there, but not too bad.
Actually, I do want to look at something in Unity.
Yeah. What do we got?
Yeah. Hold on, I got to bring some stuff up.
Oh, you meant build it to see if the file size goes down.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
File size savings.
What if I did this for my spending?
Okay, so yeah, see when it started November, it's like 170 megs. And the last time I bothered to measure, it was 138 megs, 154 on the App Store. Thank you, Unity. Thank you. Get out of there. All right, where do I get the file size again?
I mean, you could go to the build and right-click it. Okay.
It's editor log.
So you did also install new stuff. Let's see how it goes.
Just a quick glance at that, it does look like, nope, completed side 111.2, 111.1. I work better with Excel. I use Excel at work every day, all the time, so for me that would be easier than dealing with this huge block of. Something to this usually, but I guess it doesn't. Just pull that there. Okay, so we're going to look for it. So conclusion. So we did it for about 20 levels. We replaced the PNG image with a text, and in full transparency, some of our result, we reduced a lot of file size, but through using Text Mesh Pro, we've also added file size.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is junk Text Mesh Pro has and we don't need. What I'm going to do later is delete out all that Text Mesh Pro chunk that we didn't use, delete all the PNGs we got rid of, really try to trim the Unity project down to just the files that are in the build, and then see where our file size is from there, and then move towards further optimization.
Yeah, trying to hit that mark under 100 for Apple, under 100 megabytes would be huge. We didn't get the gains that we wanted, but when you import an entire asset into Unity, it does add some things as well. They've got references in the background that we've got to account for, and hopefully we can continue to optimize and get more savings on that size.
And if we do, hopefully we'll make another video out of it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm John Gale. You can reach me at johnsensei.com is my website. At Mr. John Sensei, Hiragana Breaker is out right now, iOS and Android, free to start the first 5 levels, and then just $1.99 US, or that local equivalent, to unlock all 46 levels. And my friend here,
John West, it was nice talking to you guys, and I hope we have another session soon to get some of these problems out of the way.
Yeah, this is game development. This is real.
This is the trenches. These are the trenches here.
Real indie devs, real problems. If you've watched this far, thank you. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, John the Sensei here with a follow-up to the work John the programmer and I did using Text Mesh Pro in Unity to reduce the file size of Hiragana Breaker. Now we did get some file size savings. For example, those first letters we worked with in that brush font started about 9 megs. We were able to reduce them to about 7.5 megs of Text Mesh Pro font assets for about 1.5 megs of file savings. So not what quite we were expecting, but still every little bit counts. Now that Zone 4 levels that had sort of the outer space feel, those started out over 10.5 megs, only 4 megs for the Text Mesh Pro file assets, and so we got over 6.5 megs file savings there. That's sort of more what we were expecting, and I'm really happy with that. So in total, all the work we did that you saw in the video, we got about 8.2 megabytes of file savings out of it. However, we really only netted about 3.5 savings this time, because as you may remember in the video, when we imported Text Mesh Pro into Unity, I asked John if we needed everything in the import. We went ahead and imported everything. However, that added about 4.8 megabytes worth of font assets and shaders and examples and all sorts of other things we really didn't need. Now, one thing I'm curious about is a lot of this we did not use in our scene, in our actual game, but they still ended up in the build. Usually, Unity doesn't put into the build things that aren't in the scenes. For example, here's some PNGs I originally had as backgrounds. They're still in my Unity project, but they're not in the scene itself, so they don't end up in the build puffing up that file size. But in the case of TextMesh Pro, that did happen. Those example fonts and things we did not use in the game did end up pumping up the file size, which we did not want. If anyone has any insight into why this is, please feel free to add to the discussion below about that. Now, what I did do, as I mentioned, this is what I call Zone 3 in the game. I did watch this video again using TextMesh Pro and the exact same process John and I figured out. I replaced all these PNGs that had the letter and the stone background with the TextMesh Pro font asset here. And in that build, we ended up with about 36 megabytes of file savings. This also includes deleting a lot of those sample fonts and shaders from TextMesh Pro that I didn't need. So this is a really significant file savings, the type that we were looking for. So that got our total file size down to 75.1 megabytes building out of Unity. However, I did push this update to the App Store, and on the App Store it is 122 megabytes, showing that Apple adds almost 47 megabytes to that build that's actually on the App Store. That's pretty significant. That's only giving you about 50 megabytes of space to work with to keep it under the 100 megabyte target we're shooting for, so that people can download the game on their phones over their cell phone signal. If anyone has any insight on how to reduce this, maybe an Xcode or some other way, please give us a comment down in the discussion below. So 22 megabytes to go to get to the target of 100. Still have some possible things I can work on. For example, the music. I may compress that a little bit without sacrificing quality to see if we can shed some of this space on there and get to that target of 100. Again, Hiragana Breaker is available for iOS and Android. The game is free to download, so you've got nothing to lose. Go ahead, try out those first 5 levels for free and the first quiz and tell me what you think. If that game is really helping you get your first 5 characters down solid, then it's only a $1.99 US or local currency equivalent in-app purchase to unlock all 46 levels, and then you can learn your basic Japanese alphabet just through playing a block breaker game. Now, John and I are working on a big new project that's taken a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, lots of frustration, but man, we are so excited about it. It is going to disrupt Japanese language education, and we are going to present the prototype and announce this game at the Grand Ole Game Room Expo on November 10th, 11th, and 12th, 2017 here in Nashville. If you live within traveling distance of Nashville, you'll definitely want to check out Grand Ole Game Room Expo. It's going to be arcade, pinball machines, retro arcade machines, game consoles, tournaments, indie games, all weekend long. More than you can handle. It's going to be a great time. So definitely check that out if you can get to Nashville. If not, stay in tune with me on social media for updates and about this big announcement. Again, I'm out there at Mr. John Sensei on Facebook and Twitter if you want to see some of the Japanese language learning tips and resources I share, or more updates about Hiragana Breaker and other games. Also, check out some of our other videos, including John's skateboarding game that he's been working on and looks really cool. We hope to hear from you guys in the comments or on social media, and hopefully we'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching.